Hiya, my name is Isabella. I am so excited to start sharing my practice with the online community. Today we'll be starting lying on our backs, letting our entire backside body touch the mat, feet wide, arms relaxed alongside your side body. Take a few deep breaths to connect. See where your body's at today. Maybe circle your ankles outwards and circle them inward. Circle those wrists outwards. Circle them inwards. Find some stillness. Bring the balls of the feet together, open up into a butterfly position. Knees are going to be nice and wide. Start to send your breath into your hip points, into that lower abdominal wall. And then you can take your hands and press your thighs away from the body, pressing your feet together in that butterfly position, lengthening out of your hips. Give a little rock from side to side, pressing through those thighs with your hands. Your next breath, release the hands, release the pressure. And then take that left knee, close it like a book so it stacks on top of your right knee. Cradle your head with your right bicep, fetal position. And on your next breath, find your way into a tabletop position. Shoulders over wrists, hips are over those knees. Nice neutral spine. Start to bring your core in so it protects the spine. Rib cage is knitted together. Inhale your right arm up towards the sky, open up. On your exhale, weave it behind that left palm. Reach that left palm forward. Keep your shoulder blades facing forward. Hips are stacked over your knees, keeping both hips in line with one another. You can rest your head, your forehead onto the ground, or you can turn your right ear down onto the ground. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. Start to open up in that shoulder space. Send your hips back. And on your next breath, come back up into a tabletop position. Find a little open rotation in your torso once again to the right. And then release that right palm down to meet the left. Inhale your left arm up towards the sky. Exhale, weave it behind the right. Drop your left shoulder blade down to the ground. Reach your right palm forward. Again, keeping both hips in line with one another, both shoulders in line with one another. Flexing your hip points up towards the sky, releasing your forehead to the ground or the left ear onto the ground. Inhale through your nose. Exhale, release it out through the mouth. Take one more breath here. And on your next breath, push back into a child's pose position. Release your hips down to your heels. Take your knees nice and wide. Let your belly sink in through your thighs. Reaching both palms forward. Relax that forehead onto the mat. You can rock it from side to side. And then reach back into that tabletop position. Find your first downward facing dog of the day. Bend the left knee, straighten the right. Bend the right, straighten the left. Take your dog for a walk. Pedal out the feet. Keep rotating those elbows in that downward facing dog as you press your chest towards your thighs. And in your next breath, find a little bit of stillness. Reaching your heels towards the ground. Flexing your hips up towards the sky. The chest presses closer to the thighs as your elbows round in towards the midline. Like a slow ocean wave, find your way into a plank position, rolling through each vertebrae. Rounding out of your shoulder blades, keep your hips in line with your spine. Start to feel that core connect. Find a little shifting motion forward and back on the toes. Staying in your plank position. Inhale your right leg up towards the sky in your plank position. Slowly bring that right knee to your right elbow. Inhale it back. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Inhale it back. Exhale, right knee to nose. Bring it through the midline. Drop down to a low lunge. Left knee to the ground. Right foot forward. You can walk your right foot to the outer edge of the mat. Both hands are going to be on the inside of that right foot. Open up through the hips. Let them press forward, melting towards the ground. Inhale your right arm up towards the sky. If it feels accessible, grab for that left foot. Tuck it in towards the heel. Starting to open up through the chest, through your psoas. Release that left foot behind. Circle that top right arm forward. Shift your hips back. Lengthen out through that front right leg. Half splits. Toes are flexed. Try to keep both hip points facing forward. Lifting up through the core as we lengthen our chest to the thighs. Rebend that right knee, stack your hands underneath your shoulders, send that right leg back into a tabletop position. Keep that right leg extended out behind you. You lift your left arm out in front, finding some opposition. On your exhale, bring your knee to elbow underneath the body, finding a little spinal crunch. Inhale to lengthen out, exhale to contract. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, contract. As we lengthen out, we keep that spine nice and neutral, trying not to have an arch in that lower back. As we round and contract, we're lifting up through the core, closing the rib cage. Take 2 more breaths here. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, contract. Inhale, lengthen. Replace that left palm back down to the ground. Open up that right arm to the sky. Open up through the hips. Modified side plank. Keeping that right leg extended, kicking through your heel. Toes are nice and engaged and flexed. And then exhale, crunch your right elbow to your right knee. Starting to engage that side body, your obliques. Inhale, lengthen away from the body. Exhale, contract to the center. For 3 more breaths. For 2. Last one, inhale, lengthen forward. Square off the hips. Send yourself back into a 3-legged downward facing dog, lifting your hip up towards the sky. You can stack the hips one over the other, curling that right heel in towards the glute. Downward facing dog. You can circle that top ankle one way, circle it the other. Inhale, lengthen out through the legs, square off the hips, drive the knee through the midline, finding your crescent lunge. Stacking that right knee over the ankle, hips nice and low underneath the shoulders. Lift out of the hips, contract the spine, release the shoulder blades down. Take a nice deep inhale here. Get a little bit lower in that leg before we open up into a warrior 2. Inhale, reach those arms forward. Exhale, take exalted. Nice deep breath through the nose. Inhale. Exhale, cartwheel the hands back down towards the ground. Find a 3-legged plank, sending that right leg back towards the room. Stacking shoulders over wrists. Place that right foot down to the ground. Take your first chaturanga, elbows alongside the rib cage. Lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Slowly make that ocean wave in the spine, finding a plank position once again. Lift that left leg up towards the sky, three-legged plank. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, drive that left knee to left elbow. Inhale, lengthen out. Left knee, right elbow. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, drive that knee to nose. Drop it down for a flow lunge in that left leg, right knee down, left foot forward. You can walk your left foot out to the outer edge of the mat. Both hands are on the inside of your left foot. Inhale that left arm up towards the sky, finding a rotation in your upper torso. If it feels accessible, curl that right heel in towards the glute. Grab it with your left palm. Keep rotating open through the chest, through the torso. Drop your hip down closer to the ground. Let it mount. Inhale through your nose. Nice, even exhales. On your next breath, release that back foot. Replace that left palm to meet the right. Shift your hips back, lengthening out through that left front leg. Flex the toes, lift through the core. Send your hips back, and then reach your chest to thighs. Saying good morning to those hamstrings, or good evening. One more nice deep breath here. Lift up through the torso, stack your palms underneath your shoulders, tuck that left heel in towards the glute, send it back, tabletop position, extending that left leg out, right arm forward. Inhale, lengthen up through the spine. Exhale, contracts underneath the body. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, contract underneath. As we lengthen forward, that spine stays neutral. As we contract underneath the body, we round into a cat-like position. 3 more breaths here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, contract. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen one more time. Drop that right palm down to meet the left. Open up through the hips, facing to your side wall. Left arm goes up. Left toes stay lifted and flexed. Finding that side crunch, left elbow to left knee. Engaging our left oblique this time, starting to warm up that side body. Modified side plank. Inhale, lengthen away. Exhale, they meet at the center. 3 more breaths here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, contract. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, meets the center. Final inhale to lengthen. Square off the hips. Send yourself back, 3-legged downward facing dog. Open up the hips, stack them up. Curl that heel in towards the glute. Keep opening up through the hips, keeping both shoulder blades facing towards the ground. You can circle that top ankle one way and circle it the next. Inhale, lengthen out through the legs. Exhale, squares off the hip. Drive it through the midline, finding our first crescent lunge, lifting our arms up towards the sky, hips low, left knee over ankle. Powering through that back leg, don't forget to lift through the quad and through the knee. Your hips are directly underneath your shoulders. Knit that rib cage together. Keep that core engaged. Inhale, get a little bit lower in those legs. Exhale, open up to warrior 2 on the left side. Keeping that quad at a 90-degree angle with the knee. Lifting up through your back leg. Inhale that left arm forward. Exhale, take exalted to the back. Reach that top left shoulder away from the ear. And on our exhale, we'll cartwheel down towards the ground. Find ourselves in a 3-legged plank position one more time. Drop that left toes towards the ground. Find your chaturanga, elbows alongside the rib cage, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Slowly walk your feet to meet your hands at the top of the mat. Toe ball heel. Grab opposite hands to elbows. Hang over those legs. You can take a nice big bend in the knees. Find a little bounce or a sway in your torso. Let the head hang heavy. Find stillness at the center of your mat. Interlace your fingertips behind the head. Tuck the chin into the chest. Resist the palms as you slowly roll yourself up one vertebrae at a time. Open those elbows nice and wide. Find a slight lift in your upper back. Exhale, meets up to center. Release your hands alongside your body. Lift your shoulders up towards your ears on a nice deep inhale. Exhale, quickly release them down the spine. 2 more just like that. Inhale your shoulders up towards your ears. Exhale, releases them down. 1 more, inhale it up. Exhale, release the shoulders down your spine. Inhale your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, takes a swan dive all the way down, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen up, flat back. Exhale, contract. Walk, step, jump your way into a high plank. Find your chaturanga, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale that right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Inhale it up. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Inhale it up. Exhale, drive that knee for crescent lunge on your right side. Send the arms up. Find a little more depth in that lunge. On your exhale, eagle arms on the right-hand side, right arm under left, keeping both palms in the center of the body. Inhale your elbows a little bit further away from your chest. And on your exhale, we're going to drive those elbows inside your right knee. Staying in that crescent lunge, eagle arms. Nice deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, use your core so you're not resting on your right thigh. And on your next breath, lift it on up into crescent. Open up, warrior 2. Inhale your arms forward. Exhale, take exalted. On your exhale, cartwheel your hands down towards the mat. Downward facing dog. Find your chaturanga, high plank. Exhale down to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale that left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Inhale it up. Exhale, left knee, right elbow. Inhale it up. Third one drives through the midline to crescent lunge. Inhale those arms up towards the sky. Exhale, sinks deeper into your legs. Keeping that back leg just as engaged as your front. Release the shoulder blades away from the ears. Exhale, eagle arms on the left, left arm under right. Trying to keep that arch out of that lower back. Inhale the elbows away from the body. Exhale, take a crunch forward, keeping the arms inside left leg. Make sure that core is working for you, no resting on the thigh. Stay elevated and lifted. Nice deep breaths. On your next breath, inhale it up. Exhale, unwind the arms. Open up for warrior 2. Inhale those left arms forward. Exhale, takes it back, exalted. Cartwheel your hands down to the ground. Send the left leg back towards the sky, 3-legged dog. Drop the left leg down. Find your chaturanga, high plank. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk, jump, float your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen out through the spine. Exhale, contract. Inhale, bring those arms up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale your arms up towards the sky. Right palm grabs left wrist. Inhale out of the hips. Take a nice little side bend over to the right. Keeping that top left shoulder opening up. Keeping your core engaged. Your oblique is supporting you. Take an inhale to get a little bit deeper. Exhale, rise. Switch your grip. Left palm grabs right wrist. Inhale up through it towards the sky. Lift out of the hips. Exhale, takes that side bend to the left. Trying not to sink into our hips. We want to think about lifting before we take our side bend. Keep opening up the chest towards the sky. Take your gaze upwards. Inhale to get a little deeper. Exhale takes to rise. Forward fold. Inhale, lengthen out through the spine, flat back. Exhale, jump your way to high plank. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale that right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, drive it through. Crescent lunge one more time. Find a little pulse in that front leg for 3, for 2, for 1. Find stillness. Take those eagle arms again to the right arm under left. Palms stay in the center of the body. We lift the elbows away from the chest. On our exhale, we're going to take the elbows and crunch it down now onto the outside of that right leg, almost like a prayer twist. Keeping those arms in an eagle wrap, nice low crescent lunge, the elbows hook on the outside of your right thigh, and breathe. Keep lifting through the core again, not resting on that right thigh. Start to shift your weight forward and back in those legs. Once you feel your weight shifting all the way into that right leg, ground through the heel, kick up through the left heel for twisted warrior 3 eagle arms. Exhale, release that left leg back to the ground in a chair pose with eagle arms still hooked on the outside of that right thigh. Inhale your arms up, unwind the arms. Exhale your hands through heart center. Inhale your arms back up. Take a slight back bend, cactus arms. Exhale it forward. Inhale, lengthen flat back. Exhale, jump, float your way to high plank. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale that left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, drive it through the midline, crescent lunge on the left-hand side. Take a pulse in that left leg for 3, for 2, for 1. Find stillness. Release your shoulder blades away from the ears before you take your eagle wrap to the left-hand side, left arm under right. Inhale the elbows away from the body. Exhale, take a crunch, releasing your torso towards the thighs. Elbows are on the outside of your left thigh. Eagle arms. Again, like a twisted prayer. We're twisting in the torso with just different arms. Keep lifting away from the thighs. And start to shift your weight forward and back in your heels. And once you find most of your weight is in that front foot, take off, send that right heel up towards the sky, and we're in a twisted eagle arm, warrior 3. Keeping both hips squared, powering through the foot, flexing the toes down towards the ground. On your exhale, let your right foot meet your left, chair pose. Inhale, unwind the arms up towards the sky. Exhale your hands through heart center. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, high plank, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, HA, out of the mouth. One more time, send all the air out of the body. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, HA, out of the mouth. Nobody can hear you. So you can make a nice loud sound if it feels good. Inhale your right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Inhale it up. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Inhale it up one more time. Find your crescent lunge. Inhale those arms up, right into eagle arms on the right. Inhale it up. Exhale, contract. Send those your eagle arms on the inside of that right thigh. And then step your left foot to meet your right. Finding a chair pose, eagle arms, still reaching that chest up towards the sky. Find a little pulse in your glutes, lifting them up and down, keeping those eagle arms. And on your next breath, slowly lower the glutes all the way down to the ground. Release your chest to the spine, keeping those eagle arms. We're going to take that right leg, cross it over the left thigh, taking eagle wrap on your legs, lying down. So your arms and your legs, as you're on your back, are both an eagle. We're going to lift the heels so that they're at a 90-degree angle with the knee. Inhale, lengthen the elbows away from the body, and then exhale, we're going to crunch the elbows to meet the knees. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift the shoulder blades. Inhale, lower. Exhale to rise. Inhale, lower. Exhale to rise. We've got 3 more. 2. And 1. Let your upper body rest onto the ground, keeping your bind. Now we're going to drop the heels to the ground, tap them, and then lift them right back up, working in that lower abdominal wall. Inhale, lower, tap the heels, keeping the bind in the legs. Exhale, rise. We have 3 more. Use your breath, nice and controlled. The slower, the better. Final 1. And then bring those legs up to stillness. Now we're going to combine these 2 movements together. Inhale, your knees and your elbows away from the body. Exhale, crunch it up. Inhale, away. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale it up. Exhale, knee to elbow. We have 4 more. Use your breath, nice and slow. For 3. For 2. For 1. Release your bind, unwind the arms, unwind the legs, place your right ankle on top of your left thigh, interlace your fingertips below the knee. Exhale, jogs the legs in towards the chest. Figure 4 position on your back. You can rock from side to side in those hips. If you want more stretch, you can press your right knee away from the body as you draw the left knee in, keeping both toes flexed. Exhale, release that left leg down to the ground. Bring that right knee to neutral. Exhale, crosses it over the midline. Supine twist to your left-hand side. Both shoulder blades on the ground. Bring that knee back to center. Grab onto both knees. Take 3 rocks on the spine. On your 3rd rock, cross your shins underneath the body. Send yourself back to a downward facing dog. Find your chaturanga. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale it out, downward facing dog. Inhale that left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Inhale it up. Left knee, right elbow. Inhale it up. Exhale, drives that knee through the midline. Crescent lunge on your left-hand side. Eagle arms right away, left arm under right. Inhale the elbows away from the body. Exhale, takes them on the inside of the right or of the left legs. Finding your strength here. Keep lifting away from the thighs. Find that rock, step that right foot to meet the left. You're in a chair pose, eagle arms. And we're bouncing in that booty from up and down. Keeping the weight in the heels, you should be able to lift your toes. The elbows are away from the chest. And on our next pulse, we're going to lower the glutes all the way down to the ground. Roll yourself, your spine down. Cross that left leg over the right. Eagle wrap to the other side. Taking the same movements as we did to the right, but now we have our eagle wrap on our left side. Lift the heels so that they're at a 90-degree angle with your knees. Send the elbows away from the body. Exhale, reach the elbows to meet your knee. The lower body stays nice and steady, nice and neutral. Lengthen away from the body. Exhale, contract. We have 4 more. For 3. For 2. 4-1. Release that torso down towards the ground. Now we isolate the movement in the bottom part of the body, dropping the heels down towards the ground. Exhale, lift it up. Using your lower core to lower slightly, tap gently, and then rise. We have 4 more. Inhale away from the body. Exhale back to neutral. For 3, for 2, final 1. Knees come back over hips. Now making a combo movement, send the legs and the arms away from each other. Exhale, bring the knees and the elbows to touch at the center. Making sure that the shoulders are lifting off of the ground to find that crunch. For 4, for 3, for 2. Exhale, unwind the arms, unwind the legs, bring the knees into the chest, give it a little rock from side to side. Place that left ankle on top of the right thigh, interlace your fingertips below the knee, draw the legs in towards the chest. Figure 4 position. Keep the toes flexed to protect your knee. And if you'd like a little more of a stretch, send that left knee away from the body as your right knee draws in. Finding opposition. One more breath here. Fill up the belly, send the energy into the hips. And on your exhale, release that right leg down, bring your left knee to neutral. Exhale, cross it over the midline, supine twist to your right hand side. Keep drawing the shoulder blades down. Every time we inhale, we lengthen out. Every time we exhale, we find a deeper expression of our stretch. Bring it back to center. Bring the knees into the chest. Grab on. Take a few rolls to bring you back up to seated for 3, for 2. That third one, cross the shins underneath the body. Step your hands forward. Find your chaturanga. High plank. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale it out, downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, bring it through, crescent lunge. Immediately open up to a warrior 2. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, take exalted. Lengthen out through that front right leg. And then exhale, send the hips back to that back wall, reaching down for triangle. You can place your hand onto your shin, your ankle, your toes, or to the ground. Keep opening up through that chest, sending the hips back, and keeping your core engaged. Lift up through your front quad, through both quads. Making sure both hips are in line with each other, pressing your left hip to that side wall. Reach your right arm out in front. And on our exhale, we take another exalted in our warrior 2. Rebend that right knee. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down to the ground. Send your right leg back towards the sky. Exhale, release it down, high plank. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale that left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, drive it through the midline, crescent lunge. Quickly open up into our warrior 2. Inhale that left arm forward to take it back into exalted. Straighten out through that left front leg. Keep reaching towards the back wall. And exhale, lift it up, finding that triangle pose. Right hip is pushing away from the body, releasing that left palm either to your shin, your ankle, your toes, or to the ground. That right shoulder keeps opening up towards the sky, lengthening out through your fingertips. Pull up through both quads. Reach that right hip forward. Knit the rib cage together. And on your inhale, lift that left arm so it's alongside your ear. And on your exhale, we take it back. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down towards the ground. Find your chaturanga, high plank. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, bring it through. Send your arms back behind your side body. Flying those arms out in front of you. Still in that crescent lunge, lifting out of the hip. Find that rock forward and back in your lunge. On your exhale, take off into a warrior three. Keeping that back foot flex, the energy of the toes is facing down. We're gonna find a bend in that right leg for 3. Find a pulse. 2. 1 brings you to straighten. And on your next breath, drive that left knee to standing, crunch it up in towards the chest. Interlace your fingertips in front of the knee, wind removing pose while standing. On your exhale, place your left ankle on top of your right thigh. Interlace your fingertips above the head. Release the index fingers and sit down into a figure 4 chair. Really grounding through that standing heel. Lift the toes. On your exhale, bring your hands through to center to prayer. Take your left elbow on the outside of your left foot. Find a prayer twist. Keep lifting through the core, dropping the hips as far down to the ground as possible. Opening up through the chest, pressing the right palm into the left to find your twist. On your exhale, bring it back to center. Bring it up to rising. Eagle arms, left arm underneath the right. Take your left thigh over the right thigh. Eagle wrap with the legs. Inhale the arms away from the chest, finding length through your triceps. Keep your hips in line with your shoulders. And on your exhale, find that crunch in your eagle. Lowering the elbows down towards the knee, lifting out of the shoulder blades, rounding through the spine, grounding through that right heel. It's starting to burn out. A few more breaths here. We're going to keep our eagle wrap in the arms, unwind the leg, send the leg back into that warrior 3 position, keeping the arms wrapped, hips are squared, toes are flexed. And on your exhale, drop that left foot down towards the ground. You're back into your crescent lunge, eagle wrap. On your exhale, open up warrior 2. Inhale it forward, exhale, take exalted. Cartwheel the hands down towards the ground. Plank position, low plank. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, drive it through, crescent lunge. Arms go alongside the body, flying the arms, lifting up to the chest, not letting your belly rest on the thigh. Find a little rock forward and back in your feet. And once you're feeling good, find that takeoff to a warrior 3 position, keeping your hips square, toes flexed. Energy is out through the toes. We're gonna bend in that standing left thigh for 3 pulses. Bend and straight. For 2, grounding through your heel, lifting your toes. That third one brings you back to straighten through your leg. Breathe. On your next breath, come up to standing. Bring that right knee all the way up to the chest, wind removing. Interlace your fingertips below the right knee. Release the shoulder blades away from the body. Place your right ankle on top of your left thigh. Interlace the fingertips up above the head. Release the index finger. Slowly sit down into a figure 4 chair, sending the hips back. Trying to lower in those glutes just 1 inch. And on your exhale, bring the hands through heart center. Hook the right elbow on the outside of your right foot. If you fall, that's okay. Just bring yourself back into it. Finding that prayer twist at the center of the chest, opening up to the left-hand side. Keep lifting through your core. And on your next breath, bring your chest back to center, legs back up to standing, arms up over the head, right knee comes up. Take your eagle arms, right arm under left, right thigh is gonna hook over the left thigh, finding your eagle wrap on the right-hand side. Inhale, lift the elbows away from the chest, tuck the hips underneath the body so they're stacked underneath your shoulders. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. Elbows meet your knees. Rounding out of your shoulder blades, lifting through your core. Sit a little bit lower in your thighs. Make sure you're not gripping in your left toes. And on your next breath, unwind your legs. Send your right leg back into a warrior three. Your eagle arms stay. Hip points are facing down, flexing through the toes. Take one more breath here. Exhale, release that right foot down to the ground nice and gracefully into your crescent lunge. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, take it back. Cartwheel the hands down to the ground. Send your hips high to the sky. Find your chaturanga. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, down low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale it out, downward facing dog. Start to pedal out your feet, left to right. Find stillness in this downward facing. Slowly roll yourself into a high plank position. Place your right palm underneath the nose. Come to the outside edge of that right foot, and we're in a right side plank to the right. Engaging through both of the feet, flexing through the toes, all of your energies coming out through your heels. Slightly lift that top left leg, and on our exhale, we're gonna crunch our elbow to knee like we did at the beginning of class. We've got a few breaths here. 4 more. Inhale, lengthen the foot and the hand away. Exhale, they come to meet at the center. For 3, for 2. Exhale, cartwheel that left hand back down to meet the right. Send your hips back, downward facing dog. Inhale that right leg up towards the sky. Send it back for wild thing. Lifting up through the chest, up through your hips. Keep lengthening the shoulders away from the ears. On your next exhale, find that 3-legged dog. Exhale it forward for a pigeon pose on your right-hand side. Dropping the hips, that right shin is at a 90-degree angle with the knee. Keep your toes flexed. Before you lower your chest all the way down to the ground, inhale the hips up away from the mat. Tuck the hips underneath the body, and then sit yourself right back down. If this feels comfortable, slowly walk your hands back forward. Nice long breaths here. Drawing that left hip point down towards the ground. Try not to let it open up to the side. As you breathe, all of your energy, all of that breath is going to your hips, to your lower abs. Try to relax that forehead onto the ground. Relaxing the shoulder blades. If you'd like a little added twist here, come up on that right palm. Inhale that left arm up towards the sky, open up. And then exhale, weave it behind your right arm, finding that twist in your shoulders. Trying to keep them both square. On your next breath, we walk our hands back up to seated. Swing that back leg around to the front. Keep your right foot tucked in towards your groin. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, reaches forward for the left toes. Grab the outside blade of your left foot with your right hand. Lift it on up. On your exhale, cross it over the midline. You can sickle that left foot in towards the body, finding a nice long line in your IT band. Bring that left foot back to center. We're going to take it out to the side, keeping that right foot tucked in towards the groin. And then we're going to reach for those left toes with the right palms with a side bend. We don't want to be squaring off towards the foot. Keep it through the side body, opening up through the right shoulder blade, taking your gaze up towards the sky. You can rest that left elbow onto the ground, or if it's accessible, you can start to release that left shoulder onto the thigh. Take a few breaths here. Keep reaching that right hip point down towards the ground. On your exhale, bring it back up. Place your right palm. Send your left or your hips up towards the sky. Left arm goes up, stargazer. You're on the shin of your right leg. That left foot still stays planted. Opening up through the chest. Exhale, release the hips towards the ground. Cross the shins underneath the body. Step it on back. Downward facing dog. Through your chaturanga, inhale to high plank. Exhale down to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Slowly roll yourself like an ocean wave to plank. Place that left palm underneath your nose. Come to the blade of your left foot, side plank to the left-hand side. Toes are flexed. Energy is out through the heels. Right palm is on top of your right shoulder, lengthening both shoulder blades away from the ears. On your next breath, lift those right toes. Find the crunch at the center of the body, right knee to right elbow. Inhale, lengthening away. Exhale, crunching at the center. 4 more breaths. For 3. For 2. That last one, that right palm comes to meet your left. Find your downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up towards the sky. And then take your wild thing to the other side. Lifting up through the hips. Try not to sink into your shoulder blades. Still find strength to power out. A nice heart opener. And on your next breath, flip it back to a 3-legged downward facing dog. Exhale, bring it through pigeon on your left-hand side. Before we lower that chest all the way down, lift up through the palms, tuck the hips. Keep that core engaged. That right shin is at a 90-degree angle. And then re-lower those hips down as you walk your palms to meet the ground. Keep rotating that right hip so it's facing down, keeping both hips at neutral. Try to relax your chest all the way down, releasing the forehead either to the mat or you can cross your palms in front of you, giving it a little bit more support. Try to breathe into your hips. Breathe into that lower belly. Each exhale takes you a little deeper into your stress. If you'd like a little deeper twist, take that left palm, rise up. Inhale your right arm arm up towards the sky, opening up through the torso, and then weave it behind your left arm. Walk the left fingertips forward. Shoulder blades still stay in line with one another, both facing the front wall. You can relax that forehead to the ground or right ear onto the ground, whatever feels good. Take a few more breaths here. Start to bring it on up. Slowly walk your hands to meet your thighs. Shift onto that left hip. Swing your right foot forward. Keep your left foot tucked into the groin. To inhale your arms up. Exhale, reaches for the toes. Keeping the toes flexed. Keep that quad engaged as well, lifting up through the knee. Breathing into your hamstrings, flexing those hips up towards the sky as you reach forward. Rising on up, grab the outside right blade with the left hand. Inhale your right leg up. Exhale, cross it over the midline, tucking your toes inward, finding that sickle so there's a nice long line in your IT band. Keep lifting up through the hips. Try not to round in that lower spine. You want the shoulder blades still stacked as we reach the right foot away. On your exhale, bring that right foot back to center. Send it out open to the side, keeping your left foot tucked into the groin. We're going to reach for the right toes with a side bend, lifting that left arm up towards the sky and dropping our right shoulder down towards the thigh. You can keep that right elbow onto the ground for support, right palm. Keep lengthening out through that right leg, lifting up through your quad, opening up through that left shoulder, taking your gaze up towards the sky. Breathe into your side body. Maybe you get 1 inch deeper with your inhale. On your exhale, we take it back to seated. Place that left palm on the outside of your left glute. Send the hips high towards the sky. Stargazer on the left-hand side. Hips are pressing up. Shoulders are drawing down. The foot stays planted onto the ground. And release your hips back down towards the ground. Cross your shins over underneath the body. Send yourself back for a downward facing dog. Inhale it forward, high plank. Exhale for the slowest release down of the chest, finishing that low plank with your chest lying down. We're going to bring the right palms in line with your right shoulder. Send your left hip open to the left-hand side, finding a little twist in that shoulder space in your torso. That left leg is going to be on the ground where the right leg straightens. Keep breathing into your shoulder space, sending all of the energy into your chest, into where you are stretching. And on your next exhale, release that chest back down to center. Bring your palms so they're underneath the shoulders. Bring the toes and the ankles together. Inhaling up through the chest. Cobra position. Lightly placing your weight into your hands. Starting to be able to float those hands off the ground. And on your next exhale, release that chest down. Bring your left palm in line with your left shoulder. Inhale it. Open up towards the right-hand side. That right foot comes to the outside of your left thigh. Opening up through the chest, breathing into your shoulder space. Sending all of your energy into your chest. The breath goes into that shoulder. Keep opening up through the hips. Final exhale, release your chest all the way down towards the ground. Bring the palms underneath the shoulders. Take a slight cobra once again. Lifting up, lightly pressing your weight into the palms. Breathing into your belly. Each exhale takes you a little higher. Keep that chest lifted. Tuck the heels into the glutes. Reach around back for your ankles. Taking a nice big bow position, you want to press all the energy into your palms as your palms resist back into your shins. Finding some opposition to lift you up towards the sky. Take that gaze up high. Keep working your knees towards each other so they don't splay out too far. Inhale into the belly. Exhale. Inhale one more time, lift a little bit higher. And exhale, release the chest all the way down towards the ground. Bring your palms underneath your shoulders. Shift your hips back. Bring the knees underneath the hips, lifting all the way up onto your knees. Place your hands onto your lower back. We're going to inhale out of the hips. Take a nice slight back bend for camel. Taking that back bend, starting up with the upper chest. Opens up. You can drop your palms to your heels if that feels good. Keep pressing away from those heels. On your exhale, bring your hands back to your lower back. Restack your shoulders to your hips. Release the hips down to the ground. Take your left hand on the outside of the right knee. Find a little spinal twist to the right. Exhale to center. Take that twist to the left. We're going to take camel one more time. Bring it back to center. Lift up onto the heels. Place your hands onto your lower back. The bend of the back starts with the chest, lifting up, and then sends the hips forward. Reach the palms down towards your ankles or your heels, your shins. Send the hips away as the chest opens up towards your back wall. 2 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale, we place our hands back onto our lower spine. Drop the hips down towards the ground. Swing your legs out in front of you. Keep your toes flexed. Final hinge forward. Inhale your arms up. Exhale forward, release for the toes. Resetting that back. Finding the opposition. Keep lengthening through the spine. Each exhale brings that chest closer to the thighs. Rising on up. Walk your hips a little bit forward. Slowly roll yourself down towards the ground, each vertebrae at a time. The balls of the feet together. Into your thighs. Your hips away, lengthening out, pressing the balls of the feet together. On your exhale, release your legs, your feet to the outside of your mat. Release the palms down, palms facing upward. Letting your body melt into the ground, headed into your Keep sending your breath and your energy into those hips. You can give it a little rock from side to side until you find yourself into stillness. Stay on your mat for as long as you need. Thank you for sharing your first practice with me.